Hello to everyone. God, it's been forever. I still feel like shit. Oh, look, I got tons of things going. It's been horrible. Rick's been doing good. We still ain't replaced the glass in the bedroom. But let me tell you what, this COVID ain't no joke. This is the first time I've ever had COVID. I've always got the shots. Oh, this one was rough. Rough, 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 rough. Very rough. It's been Rick just had dizziness and he was drinking lots of water, but he was dehydrated. His blood pressure was below. That's what caused him to faint. But there's still more going on, so we're going to get him into the doctor. But as of Tuesday night, I have been sicker than a dog. I've not been out of the bed until today. So, with that said, I hope everybody else is feeling well. I missed you guys too. Every time I get up, felt like I was going to do a live, I started getting dizzy. I laid back down. I literally slept most of the time. Literally slept most of the time. But other than that, I mean, there's not a lot going on, but I found some stuff in Kentucky that I found a while back. And I know somebody else posted it, but I'm going to go over it anyway. Because I don't understand our sheriff departments and why are we giving them so much power in a lot of these different states. I'll never understand it. We're going to start, and I'm going to read you something first. This is from 12 years ago. Asking questions. Let me make sure that it's showing up. It is. Oh, good. Asking questions in small town America can be dangerous. I knew we'd get backlash for our reporting, which was far from aggressive than most small town papers are willing to stomach. But the news media's role as watchdog is vital in communities with a long-standing culture of corruption. The indictment of Sheriff Hodge in handcuffs on 21 counts of abuse of public trust and evidence tampering came after investigation by the Times Tribune in Corbin, Kentucky. I went to Bud's gun shop to pick out a pistol because, quite frankly, I thought my reporting might get me killed. It was January 2010, and for the past month, the newspaper I worked for, the Times Tribune in Corbin, Kentucky, had been running an investigative series on evidence and money missing from and a lack of prosecutions by the Whitley County Sheriff's Department. Anyone who knew then Sheriff Lawrence Hodge and the recent history of Whitley County could know this purchase wasn't an overreaction. Since I had moved to Corbin to edit the paper in August 2006, I had seen cops and elected officials arrested on charges related to drugs, vote buying, the theft of public funds, and violent retaliation. It is not unexpected that a political term ends in an arrest. When I bought the gun, I was thinking about the 2007 murder of the recently fired road supervisor in adjoining Laurel County. In the days before his death, he told me things were not right in the department, and several sources said he was ready to start talking. But before I got a chance to interview him, he was shot through a window at his house and killed. No one was ever charged. That sort of thing happens around there, and for a while after we started reporting on Hodge, I wouldn't sleep near a window. See who else here now that we've gotten started a bit. Like I said, hello, hello, hello. Scout. You have to excuse my coughs. I'm sorry. I'll try to mute them. Mama lost Rhonda. Hello, Rock. I've been wondering how you are doing. Boy, I tell you what, I thought I was near death, but I'm on the uphill. Noel, hi, Rock. Chuck, hope Rick's doing better. Rick's doing much better. I think this is his last day. He's feeling pretty good. But my butt has been in bed since Tuesday night. Barely awake. Leroy, it's so good to see you. And a little birdie told me you lost a family member. Prayers out to Leroy. I'm sorry that happened with you. And just know if you need anything, I'm here for sure. It's very good to see you. Where's Mama Leroy? Yeah, she's been messaging me. She knows it's been pretty yucky. Yeah, this COVID is, and thanks Noel for caring. This COVID has been really a handful. My freckle face. Hi, Rock. Good to see you. Hope you get to feeling better soon. Me too. I hope I'm on the uptick. I mean, I've been doing zinc, vitamin B12, vitamin C, Mucinex out the yin yang, and a leaf. It seems to be the typical fever for this COVID because, believe me, Rick got it, I got it, my pregnant daughter got it, her husband got it, and the grandbaby got it. So, pretty sure we got it from the family reunion thing. It just took a while to hit us all. But wow, did it hit. I missed you too, Daisy Dale. I missed everybody. Well, it's got flu-like symptoms, okay? Fever is usually 100.6. And then you start to get real clammy. And then you get the chills. And then it's just back and forth. Like you get the chills and then you got the fever. And then you get the chills and you got the fever. And it's just an ongoing process. Thanks, Beach Baby. So good to see all you guys. Time to get back to rolling what we was rolling with. The cough is extremely. Oh, and I'm using Deslin for cough medicine, so I don't know what's working, what's not working. I'm just piling it down. We did nothing this weekend, stayed in bed. We had two friends that came to Wichita to race. One of them, his grandpa, was one of my very best friends and raced with my dad. And the other one went to high school with my daughter. And they raced in the big modified circle burners dirt track. And we had every intention on our calendar, because they only come here twice a year, to the hometown to race. And listen, we didn't get to go. I'll just say that. We didn't get to go. I'm going to take it easy, 71B. Thank you. We're getting there. We're getting there, guys. But that whole 2 days bullshit, longer than 2 days. Always justice for Veronica and Jillian. Always the best for CW. She deserves the best. And always the best for Wrangler. Let's see. We'll start there. So Wrangler's wife's going back to college. We got all that paperwork filled out. I think she'll do really well. I think she'll qualify for many grants, and that'll help the family too. She has prior. She's did all of her prerequisites. They're out of the way. She's had prior college. She's going for criminal justice degree. Wishing her luck. Okay. So we've been talking about Kentucky. There's nothing new that happened other than Seems like they do some really weird shit down there. I don't even know if you want to call them swingers, but they share their spouses, it seems like, from what I'm reading, and do some crazy things. But I'm going to go to an article from 12 years ago in Kentucky. And it'll give me a minute to get my breath back. So bear with me.
Prescription drug abuse has become an epidemic in America. Few places have been hit harder than Kentucky, a state that's also been ravaged by addiction to crystal meth. In Whitley County, Kentucky, in the heart of Appalachia, matters were made worse when the man suspected of being at the center of the drug trade was the county's top law enforcement officer, Sheriff Lawrence Hodge. There had long been suspicions that Sheriff Hodge was dirty, but nobody, not even federal agents, could prove it. That's when two local journalists, both in their 20s, launched their own investigation. They soon discovered poking into the affairs of a powerful county sheriff can be risky business.
The story will continue in a moment.
You know, you're 20 years old, you're taking a shower one day and getting ready for class, and you get a call from a federal agent because there's a credible threat against your life. Everything about it's just so surreal. You know, you don't think a whole lot about it. Then later that night, you know, you start thinking, you're like, geez, somebody wants to kill me. That's a little odd. And it's the sheriff. The sheriff wants to kill you.
This wasn't exactly how Adam Selfridge had pictured a career in journalism. Adam was born and raised in Whitley County. In 2009, he was a sophomore at the local college, needed a job. The county's daily newspaper, the Times-Tribune, had an opening, and soon Adam had his first assignment and dangerous enemies. Why did you feel compelled to buy a gun?
You do have a credible threat against your life. And it seemed like a pretty reasonable thing to do. Samantha also purchased a gun at the same time.
Samantha Swindler, then 27, was managing editor of the Times-Tribune and Adam's boss.
We were reporting on people involved in the drug trade. And people who are all hopped up on oxys, I don't know what they're going to do. I thought if something happened, I'd go down with a fight.
Samantha was exotic by Whitley County standards, born in New Orleans, educated in Boston. She tangled with public officials as editor of a small newspaper in East Texas. She saw familiar signs in Whitley County.
There are problems in this community with the good old boy system, corrupt politics, that kind of thing.
It seems to me in many ways that this community's strength was also its weakness in some ways. This is a nice, polite place where people have polite conversation.
People are very proud here, and it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing in the way that it doesn't allow you to see the things that need change.
Whitley County, Kentucky, population 35,000, is tucked in the state's southeast corner on the border with Tennessee. People here take pride in the natural beauty of Cumberland Falls and in historic Sanders Cafe, birthplace of Kentucky Fried Chicken. There is also poverty. The median income is $26,000. Drug addiction is rampant. Throughout the region, red signs identify homes once used as meth labs. And then there is prescription drug abuse. Oxycodone flows in so freely they call this stretch of I-75 the pill pipeline. In 2002, Lawrence Hodge was elected sheriff of Whitley County on the promise he'd clean it up. The sheriff's raid on one meth lab was covered by the local CBS affiliate.
When I knocked on the door, the smell was already knocking me down. We're glad to shut it down. It put a dent in our drug problem here.
But early in his tenure, there were rumors. Talk around the county, the sheriff had gone bad.
From about 2004, he just went downhill and was corrupt, involved with drug dealers, taking payoffs, extorting money from defendants.
Todd Tremaine, a special agent with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, says the FBI and state police tried building a case against Sheriff Hodge, but couldn't penetrate his inner circle of drug dealers, crooked politicians, and police officers.
He was very insulated.
What do you mean insulated?
There was a lot of fear of what Lawrence might do if They cooperated with the federal agents or the state police.
He was untouchable.
Yes.
Editor Samantha Swindler had heard similar stories and suspected Sheriff Hodge might have a weakness, a paper trail. So she checked the department's evidence log.
There were months where nothing was checked in. I knew that this wasn't right because we had arrests every day in this area, particularly related to drugs. And when it's related to drugs, you know there's probably a gun, and it wasn't there.
But to mount a serious investigation of the sheriff, Samantha needed help.
Why would you hire a 20-year-old, his only journalism experience was working on his high school newspaper?
Well, when you say it like that.
Oh, it's true.
Well, he was smart, and he knew about the community, and he cared about local government.
My aunt overdosed, and the first question I had was, I wonder if she got her drugs from somebody that the sheriff was, protecting.
Adam went to work, combing through years of case files. He noted arrests where drugs and weapons were seized by the sheriff's department and should have been logged. It was tedious and time-consuming.
At that point, I was working up to like 70 hours a week. It was insane, and it wasn't healthy, but I was, just driven. I knew I was onto something, and I couldn't stop.
What he was onto was a series of felony cases involving guns and drugs in which deals were cut and sentences mysteriously reduced. What's more, the defense attorney in each case was Sheriff Hodge's close friend, Ron Reynolds. One case involved this man, Rick Benson, a retired social worker. In May 2004, Sheriff Hodge and his men raided Benson's house. In addition to drugs, they found 17 guns. Benson had a previous felony conviction on drug and weapons charges, so was forbidden to own firearms.
You knew that you'd go to prison.
Probably for the rest of my life.
Were you scared? Were you anxious?
Yeah, I was terrified.
Because?
My world was over.
During the raid on the house, Sheriff Hodge found Benson's bank statement. There was $600,000 in his checking account alone. Despite appearances, this self-described meth abuser was a millionaire, heir to a publishing fortune. The night of his arrest, Benson says Sheriff Hodge offered him a deal. If he cooperated, the sheriff would see that Benson was represented by his old friend, attorney Ron Reynolds.
I'd heard of Ron.
And his reputation was?
He could get things fixed. He said, I'll guarantee you misdemeanors, no jail time, but you're going to have to move out of Kentucky.
Did you think he was on the up and up?
Well, no, if he was on the up and up, he wouldn't have been able to do that.
How much was his fee?
$150,000.
$150,000 is a lot of money.
The rest of your life in prison is a lot of time.
Rick Benson says he was also forced to pay the sheriff $10,000 in cash and make a donation to the sheriff's department of $25,000.
That's enough to make you say, okay, what's going on here? But then whenever you see the actual cashier's check in that file where he donated $25,000 to the sheriff's department as a condition of his plea agreement, that's crazy.
With information on that case and others, Samantha and Adam pressed Sheriff Hodge for an interview. He reluctantly agreed.
He was just all relaxed, leaned back in his chair, being that good old boy.
So the sheriff thought it was a field trip.
Yeah, you got this little out-of-towner girl and this 20-year-old college kid. We played along. We played nice for a very long time. Let him lie.
In the course of that interview, legally recorded without Sheriff Hodge's knowledge, Adam asked him about the gun seized from Rick Benson, but the sheriff's answers didn't match the facts. He claimed the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, had them.
I don't even know who Rick Benson is.
He was a big case.
Oh, that's ATF, yeah. How many guns was it?
17.
On Rick Benson?
Yeah.
They would have just voted it. I tell you, you probably need to have an ATF agent here with me if you want to talk about it.
So I need to ask them if they got those guns.
Well, you just need to ask them about the whole case.
So when the sheriff said he'd given guns to the ATF, you knew it was lying.
They never took the guns. They never even opened a case in this situation. And once we had that, you got a heck of a story.
I was like, wow, I can't believe he just said that. He just kept lying. And I was giddy.
What do you make of that? The two 20-somethings
Right.
with pens and notebooks could do what seasoned law enforcement officers couldn't do.
They weren't dangerous to him. I think Lawrence was thinking, hey, kids, let me show you how the sheriff's department works. Here's the jail, and here's Barney and, everybody from Mayberry. But they caught him off guard because they'd done their research.
The reporters then filed what's called an open records request, requiring the sheriff to show where Benson's guns were stored. But 6 days later, Adam received a startling phone call.
The sheriff's department's been broken into. And, you know, that gets you out of bed real fast.
That was my we got you moment. I knew that he had staged it. I knew it.
Sheriff Hodge claimed guns, drugs, and other evidence had been stolen. The office was trashed, but the doors showed no sign of forced entry.
Just made to look like a burglary so they could explain for why the drugs and guns had been missing, and they'd been missing for several years.
So what was Sheriff Hodge doing with these guns and drugs?
Get a political friend, hold them, trade for oxycodone.
He became a drug addict.
Yes, he was a very serious drug addict. He had a bad addiction with prescription pain pills.
Adam and Samantha's interview with the sheriff and the phony burglary gave law enforcement the break they needed. The man who once thought himself untouchable was now feeling the heat. Days later, an undercover officer recorded Sheriff Hodge threatening to kill Adam.
He said, "I'm going to effing kill him." And the informant's like, "No, you're just mad." And he goes, "No, you don't understand. I'm going to kill him. I've already been by his house. I know where he lives."
Despite the threat, the Times-Tribune continued to publish damaging allegations against the sheriff, and a state audit suggested he may have been stealing money from the department.
He was just taking money and cashing it, and during convenient times like before a 3-day weekend or right before his wife's birthday.
By May 2010, the people of Whitley County had had enough. They voted Sheriff Hodge out of office. 6 months later, he was indicted by a state grand jury. The most powerful lawman in Whitley County led away in handcuffs in his uniform. But Lawrence Hodge still had influence. Around the same time, 2 local thugs, friends of the sheriff, drove to Adam's house.
The passenger in the vehicle gets out, approaches me without saying a word, puts his hand a little bit into his waistband, and I just quickly pulled my pistol.
You had a pistol on you.
At that point, I didn't go anywhere without being armed. He saw that it left the holster. I didn't point it at him or anything. And he explained that they were out looking for junk metal on my dead-end street and that they would be going now.
You pulled a gun. Were you prepared to use it?
Well, you never pull a gun unless you're prepared to use it.
Following that encounter, federal authorities compelled Adam to leave town under their protection. Already facing state charges, Lawrence Hodge was also being pursued by federal investigators. Central to their case was attorney Ron Reynolds, the sheriff's accomplice, the shakedown of Benson. Reynolds turned on his old friend, implicating the sheriff in the extortion scheme. Lawrence Hodge had no choice but to cop a plea.
Prosecutor told him, "We can put you in prison for a very, very, very long time. Case is solid. You will be convicted." You could see that he was defeated.
Last May, 2 years after Samantha and Adam launched their investigation, former Sheriff Lawrence Hodge pleaded guilty to extortion, distributing drugs, and money laundering. He was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison. He declined our request for an interview.
Yeah, that's most from the work that the two of you did, right?
Yes.
Samantha and Adam's reporting also led to the conviction of 15 of Lawrence Hodge's associates. Both journalists have since left the Times-Tribune. Samantha lives in Oregon, where she's editor and publisher of a small weekly. Adam, just a year out of college and unemployed, remains in Whitley County.
What went through your mind when you saw Sheriff Hodge in handcuffs in his uniform?
You know, a lot of people thought that I would be jumping for joy and, you know, all elated there that the sheriff got arrested. And it's really not. It's terrible that this happened. I hate to see it for my community. I hate to see that plastered all over the place. You know, Whitley County, synonymous now with a corrupt sheriff. I don't like that. I think the real story should be that a bunch of people here came together and, you know, cleaned it up.
Hello, hello. Anyway, so there seems to be some problems in Kentucky to begin with. So I'm still going to do some more deep diving now that I'm starting to feel better. It's just, I hope nobody gets the COVID. I wish I could keep you all from getting it. I know there's people out there that don't believe COVID exists. It exists. definitely exists. So how is everybody out there? Are y'all feeling well? Hopefully. There was another little quick one that I found. I didn't realize Kentucky was such a poor state. I did not know that. This was a year ago.
Community in southern Kentucky is making a new push in its fight against crime.
And the Whitley County Sheriff's Office is taking us along. Tonight, WKYT's Jeremy Toms riding along as they crack down on crime.
Enough for me.
Well, this wasn't just any other Wednesday night for the Whitley County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Bill Elliott says he's pulled together all the manpower he can muster so that his office can conduct targeted patrols in troublesome areas of their communities.
Guys, we're going to target what few warrants that we know we're going to try to serve. Let's just go out and flood the area. We're going to do Canada Town area tonight.
Canada Town sits about 10 miles northwest of Williamsburg. This area appears quiet and rural, but for Sheriff Elliott,
we're out here daily. The guys do work this. It's one of the areas that's worked pretty heavy in our county.
he's often out here working to serve warrants or dealing with drug activity.
I got a motorcycle currently running from them on River Road.
Wednesday night, they also made traffic stops and set up road checks in the area.
So she's got a child support warrant, $35,000 child support warrant out of another county.
All those efforts in the patrol led to multiple arrests, and Sheriff Elliott says the exercise helps his team of deputies to bond and learn from each other.
So we are a small department. We just lost 2 officers to another department. Everybody else got to pick up their work because the calls don't stop. So we can take this opportunity here.
Sheriff Elliott also told me these people that they are after really just make up a small minority of the county, but that is why he wants to continue these patrols in the coming weeks and months to make these communities safer for everyone else who lives here. In Whitley County, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
And Sheriff Elliott says their goal is to keep criminals guessing. These patrols will be conducted on different nights of the week and go into different communities, but they may also revisit the same ground that they've previously covered as well.
There you go. So, I'm probably fixing to be even more unpopular than I was before, because I've been digging into some stuff before I got sick. And just curious. I'm going to pull something up. And I want you to know if anybody knows this guy, because I know who it is. I want to know if you know who it is. So give me a second. Okay. Now, I'm not going to expose what I do know so far, but again, it's going to make me very unpopular, and that's okay. Texas Lady Jayhawker, I hope you get to feeling better too. Listen, it took since Tuesday night. I still don't feel the best. Don't feel the best. Okay, I want to show you guys something. Okay. Surely you guys can see this. Okay, I see you can. I want to go to something here. Talks all about her. We've read this 1,000 times, right? I want to go right here. Let's see here. Right here. You can see my cursor. Veronica will be deeply missed by all who had the privilege of knowing her. She is survived by her devoted fiancé, Tracy Pites, her cherished children, Cole and Kendall, her mother, Amanda Verner, and stepdad, Seth, father, Clinton Butler, and stepmom, Lupe, siblings, Randy. Anybody know who Randy is? Have you heard of Randy before? He's 2 years older than Veronica. And then Junior, Bryson, Cooper, Grady, Shayla, and Isis's father and mother-in-law, Brian, and Misty Heights. But what I really wanted to get to was this one right here. This one right here. And I'm curious what any of you know about this one right here. Pulled a few records, a few different things. Just curious. If you do, hit me up. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. You know, my stance has always been on this trial. I've been to that courtroom in Guyman once, so I didn't like it. I didn't like being locked in there. I didn't like any of it. So I'm really hoping they move the trial to a bigger place. Because not only that, if you get just Veronica's family in there, that takes up the whole place. And I believe family should come first before any reporters or anybody else. So I think most definitely they need a bigger place. Don't you all think they need a bigger place and more security and, just a lot? I'll give you a hint. The last name to Randy is not Butler. So but it don't take much to dig and find out stuff. I actually had somebody call me and ask me if I knew some of the things that had happened. And that's what made me start digging into this particular person. And only because we're at a standstill with the case, but also I'm all about kids. And if there's things going on that's happening with kids, and it's proven by many different people that's been doing it over these years, I'm down to uncover that. I don't care who you are. If you're somebody that has abused a child, I'm going to be digging into you. That's for sure. Other than that, I haven't heard anything new, but of course I've been out of sorts for the whole week. And thank you for everyone who checked up on me. Oh, let me show you something if I can pull it up. Can I pull it up? See if I can pull it up. I don't know if I can. I'm looking. I was going to show you a picture of the closet. Oh my gosh. That was the scariest thing. The Broncos actually won a game, Joanne Smith. Did they really? I didn't even get up to watch the KU game. Of course, it was a charity game against Arkansas, and none of our major players really played, so that was Friday night. But next Friday, actually this Friday, we got KU against the Tar Heels at Allen Fieldhouse. So I better be better come Friday. Good evening, girly girl. I will tell you, when we got to St. Francis, oh my Lord. Rick went by ambulance. And let me tell you what, they had the whole lobby full and several rooms in the back full and people lined up down the hall. That's really tough. A lot going on. And 2 nurses handling everybody. So what's going on here? Why is it not pulling it up? The COVID is absolutely growing. I'll just show you a little map here. So make sure you're using your hand sanitizer or whatever you feel that keeps you safe. As of October 22nd, 2024, we estimate that COVID-19 infections are growing or likely growing in 7 states, declining or likely declining in 23 states. I think this thing is totally off because that not changing in Kansas is wrong. But that was from the CDC just here in October. Influenza, the flu. As of October 22nd, 2024, we estimate that influenza infections are likely growing in 22 states, declining or likely declining in 2 states, not changing in 13. The reports just haven't all been given yet. That's what that amounts to. Well, somebody hit your truck, hit and run while you was at work. That sucks. That really sucks. Let's see here. I don't know if I can add this. Told you I'm not good at this stuff, so. Okay. I still feel out of sorts, so I'm not going to be on here much longer. But if I stay awake tonight, I am going to continue to dig on Kentucky and some other things. I'm looking for something I'll show you. Oh, and to those who reached out, mods from the very beginning, reached out to me, checking on Rick and talking to me, thanks. I appreciate you. Appreciate you care. Let's see here. Well, it's the best I can do, so we're going to try it. Uploaded it. What the heck happened here? It's not uploading it for some reason. Let me do it this way. Okay. Well, seems like I haven't did this song in it for a while, so I can't remember how to do it. But I'll get the pictures uploaded. But he literally was looking at me and collapsed backwards, and we have mirror glass doors, and he shattered them. And I mean, he shattered them. Let's see here. Yes, a hit and run. I love you too, girl. You know, that is a thing that's going around. I was watching On Patrol Live last night, and they had people going around, and there's a group of them in the car, and they cut you off and they get in front of you, and then they have a backup. In this case, it was a red Kia. Well, what they were doing is they had so much stuff in the window you couldn't tell who was who, and they just kept backing into this lady while she had her dash cam going. And she was on the phone with her husband. Well, what they had in the back had fallen down, and you could see the driver switch, okay? And when the driver switched, the other one snuck out of the passenger side and got in that red Kia and took off. So I think it's a scam that's happening right now. Because in most states, if you rear end somebody, it's automatically your fault. So I would say probably the best thing to do is get a dash cam. They've gotten pretty inexpensive. But see if the scam people backing into you. And it'd be insurance fraud. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you. I think this is what's going on with you, girly girl. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let's make this big. Here we go. Wait a minute.
Oh my God!
Okay, this is what was shown on Patrol Live last night. There would be a red Kia too.
God.
What happened, babe?
Oh my God! What is she doing?
Babe, what happened?
You might have seen this playing out all over your social media right now. A really shocking scene. This allegedly staged crash caught on dash cam, now going viral. Now police are investigating, saying this is insurance fraud, and it's happening more and more across the country. I mean, come on, this is on purpose. News Nation's Ryan Bass joining us live with more. Ryan, my first thought after watching this, besides it being on purpose, is thank goodness this woman had dash cam video even rolling in the first place.
I mean, that's really what's protecting her here and what's, causing so many people to take notice of this now. And the video just tells all, Marky. It's just absolutely crazy. And there's even specific names for this scheme that's unfolding here. Go and stop, swoop and squat are two of the terms that are used. And that's exactly what happened to this woman in Queens, New York. When she was driving, she caught the entire thing on her dash cam video. You saw it. Take another look at this thing again. It's crazy.
Oh my God! What is she doing?
Babe, what happened?
I don't know.
Babe.
I got into an accident. She had one hand on the.
As Pia Natasha was driving on a three-lane parkway when she had to slam on her brakes to avoid a crash in a shoulderless lane, the car swerved into her lane, cut her off, stopped, hit the hazards, and you saw there reversed into her Honda Accord. Soon after in the video, you can see kind of a little tarp get put up to cover up the back window of the other car. Lots of movement in there before several people spill out of that car, and then they tried to kind of claim and show that they were hurt in this video. Now, the National Insurance Crime Bureau, a group that tracks insurance claims, called this an attempted insurance fraud scheme playing out in real time. Asfia, by the way, she posted the dashcam video on TikTok. It racked up over 68 million views. Now, What these crooks try to do here, just so you know, Marky, is they get in this crash and then they take pictures. They try to file an insurance claim and try to get money from medical claims as well, claiming that they have been hurt. In terms of, Miss Natasha here, she was not hurt in the crash. She suffered about $8,000 in damage to her car. She said they picked the wrong people to mess with here in terms of her, especially with that dash cam video. And officials say that's the best way to protect yourself here, if you can install one of those things just in case this happens to you.
Well, I've made a mental note this morning to get one for my own car, but you see them get out of the vehicle, start to, shake their head, touch it like they've been hurt. No, come on, give me a break. Ryan Bass, thank you so much.
There was more.
Now to what appears to be an attempted insurance scam caught on camera, a car backing into another car on a busy highway, but the plot was foiled by the victim's dash cam. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez is here with the story. Gio, good morning.
Hey, Whit, good morning. Yeah, this is the kind of story where I'm going to ask you to just stop what you're doing for couple minutes and just watch this video, because it was posted on the driver's TikTok just 3 days ago. And as of this morning, it already has more than 61 million views. The driver knew something was off about this, and that dash cam was rolling.
Oh my God.
This terrifying moment caught on camera.
Oh my God, what is he doing? Babe,
what happened? Suspected insurance fraudsters intentionally backing into Ashpia Natasha's car on a busy New York City highway.
This guy just reversed into me. What the hell is going on?
My first instinct was that I got caught in a road rage. It was very chaotic.
Watch as the silver Honda Accord cuts off Ashpia, causing her to slam on the brakes. But when she doesn't hit them, the driver putting the car into reverse and punching the gas, crashing into her.
I just proceeded to treat it like an accident. I asked them if they were okay. We were able to exchange information. The guy in the video, he told me that the female was the driver and she doesn't speak any English.
But then take a look at this. The backseat passenger is trying to put a covering on the back window as the driver climbs over into the front passenger seat before getting out of the car, pretending to be injured. They pull out their phones to record the damage.
Oh my God.
They were rushing to leave. They were like, well, we have to go pick up our baby. And so basically when I turned around to go check on the car, they just got in their car and left.
After watching the footage, they believe they were being scammed.
Taking the videos to the police, they pretty definitively say that they've seen similar scams like this.
According to the National Insurance Crime Bureau, fraudulent automobile accidents occur more frequently in urban areas where there is a greater volume of vehicles, and criminals prey upon women driving alone. Just incredible. And if you think you've been a victim of insurance fraud, make sure you report it. Many states have insurance fraud hotlines that you could call. And the scam could involve more than just the people in the other car. It could include doctors and lawyers who participate in the scheme. So just like Ashpia did, when you see something strange, trust your gut here.
And to see it on video really puts it into perspective.
Really
how
does.
this works.
61 million views.
Yeah.
Wow, always listen to that voice inside. Okay, Gio, thank you so much.
So I suggest in getting dash cam. Anyway, that's the big thing that's going around. They try to cut you off and get you to hit them, and when you don't hit them, they ram you. It's so strange because I did just watch that last night. But it had a car like that, and it also had a red Kia involved on patrol. And then the passenger, did anybody pay attention to the passenger? Because the passenger literally gets out and disappears. And play it again.
What happened, babe? Oh my God, what is he doing? Babe,
what happened?
You might have seen this playing out all over your social media right now. A really shocking scene. This allegedly staged crash caught on dash cam, now
The
going
driver
viral.
crawls
Now
over and
police are
not knows
investigating,
behind the
saying this is
vehicle and
insurance
leaves in
fraud, and
another
it's happening
vehicle.
more and more across the country. I
You
mean, come
can't
on, this
see
is on
him
purpose.
leaving another
News Nation's Ryan Bass joining us live with more. Ryan, my first thought after watching this, besides it being on purpose, is thank goodness this woman had dash cam video even rolling in the first place.
I mean, that's really what's protecting her here and what's, causing so many people to take notice of this now. And the video just tells all, Marky. It's just absolutely crazy. And there's even specific names for this scheme that's unfolding here. Go and stop, swoop and squat are two of the terms that are used. And that's exactly what happened to this woman in Queens, New York. When she was driving, she caught the entire thing on her dash cam video. You saw it. Take another look at this thing again. It's crazy.
Oh my God, what is she doing? Babe,
what happened?
I don't know. Babe. I got into an accident. But she had one hand on the. What the?
As Pia Natasha was driving on a three-lane parkway when she had to slam on her brakes to avoid a crash in a shoulderless lane, the car swerved into her lane, cut her off, stopped, hit the hazards, and you saw there reversed into her Honda Accord. Soon after in the video, you could see kind of a little tarp get put up to cover up the back window of the other car. Lots of movement in there before several people spill out of that car, and then they tried to kind of claim and show that they were hurt in this video. Now, the National Insurance Crime Bureau, a group that tracks insurance claims, called this in
There was a red Kia, okay, that was following this. And you see this big guy in the front passenger seat? You see that car stopped in front of him? Watch. He disappears on us. Nowhere to be found.
an attempted insurance fraud scheme playing out in real time. Asfia, by the way, she posted the dashcam video on TikTok. It racked up over 68 million views. Now, what these crooks try to do here, just so you know, Marky, is they get in this crash and then they take pictures. They try to file an insurance claim and try to get money from medical claims as well, claiming that they have been hurt. In terms of, Miss Natasha here, she was not hurt in the crash. She suffered about $8,000 in damage to her car. She said they picked the wrong people to mess with here in terms of her, especially.
Yeah, I'm glad you're okay too, girly girl. But it is a scam that's going on. So for those of you who has not been watching the news, it's a scam. Dash cams they're cheap. I have a front and back dash cam. They're not very much. You can get one for $20 even. So I'd be checking into that. I'm going to try to go live again tomorrow. Hopefully I feel a lot better. But I want to get on here. I really miss all you guys. Let's get back to sleuthing. Getting information, talking, enjoying each other's company. Everybody try to stay healthy. It's not easy to do with this COVID going around. Don't take it for granted. Make sure you're doing everything that you can to keep yourself healthy. Well, with that said, gas cars, they run while your vehicle's running. They usually plug into your cigarette outlet, and they film everything that's going down the road. Mine has really a big SD card, so it takes a long time to even start refilming over. Hi, Kathy. When I was always at the Lake of the Ozarks house, I came home for a weekend, and I ran to Sam's, and I just got off the highway and hollered at Rick and said, "Hey, watch for me." I went to Sam's. Well, when I looked up ahead of me, I could see a motorcycle and a truck. Well, anyway, there was a motorcycle that was going extremely fast. He had just found out his grandfather had passed away. Anyway, I was the only one on the scene, and he had passed, the guy on the motorcycle. I told them I had dash cam, and they made me stick around for 3 hours, and then they took my dash cam, and the dash cam had everything on it. So, and it wasn't a very big, it was one off my Garmin. You can get Garmin's now with dash cams. So, keep that in mind too. Let's check it out. I knew he was fixing to speak, so I don't want to stay on here at all very long. Man, elections are coming soon. Let me see if I can add this to this. I hate coughing all over you guys.
How will we make the world safer? At RTX,
I just want to say a very big hello to a special place, New York, and to an incredible arena, Madison Square Garden. Incredible. And I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote in this election, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of criminals coming into our country. And I will bring back the American dream. We need the American dream to come back home. Our country will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of gross incompetence and failure, or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We will achieve success that no one can imagine. Now the fate of our nation is in your hands. Next Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've done a terrible job, that crooked Joe Biden has done a terrible job. You've destroyed our country. We're not going to take it anymore. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. Get out. You're fired.
Trying to see if I can find one that shows how many people were there. And it is packed. Interesting. Can't find any pictures. Trying to see here. What is this? See here.
He's a sweetheart, too. So I'm talking to this guy, very important guy, big guy, and I have the television screen on, and there's rockets coming down. I said, you know, it was pure, beautiful white when I left, but it's burned from the fire and the flame, and it is. And now I see it coming down like this, and it's like 20 stories tall or something. It's massive, and it's coming down. I say to the guy, hey, do me a favor, will you hold on a minute? Just hold on. I'll talk to you. This is like one of the most important people. I'm watching, said, just hold on. I put the phone down. By the way, I never picked it up again. You know what these people are going to say? He's cognitively impaired. He's cognitively impaired. Oh, you don't think so? They're the worst. They are the worst. So I put it down, and I'm watching this rocket, and I see the engines. I said, oh, it's going to crash. No, because it was looking right next to gantry. I guess they call it the gantry, whatever the hell they call it, the launching pad. And it's coming down at a bad angle, Elon. I wasn't happy. And I was a little worried. You might have been worried too. I said, oh no, it's not going to be good. And then all of a sudden I saw the flame on the bottom left, and it was ripping. The flame was pouring out of that sucker, and it straightened it out like this. And it came down and it landed, and then it's two of these big, beautiful arms.
Seems kind of blurry.
Good evening, New York City. Hello, Madison Square Garden. Our hometown, where architectural symbols of strength, courage, and unity create a canvas for the world's undisputed capital of industry. Where titans of finance, fashion, and entertainment convene among an iconic range of...
I like Melania too.
Stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
I don't know why it's blurry, but it is.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Anyway, you guys can go and
Thank-
look. Yeah. It's been live. I think it's still live. Seems to be still alive.
F. Kennedy cares more about human beings and health and the environment
There you
than
go.
anybody. And he's going to be absolutely.
So you guys can go check it out. As for now, I'm going to get off of here. But watch the community page. Much love to you all. Sorry I wasn't on here longer than this. Texas Jayhawk Lady says it's on Fox. It's on PBS. Go check it out. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And much love. Love you back. Love every one of you back. And thank you for your concerns. I'll get back with you soon. We're going to get back on track. Yes, I'm going right back to bed. Yes, have a great night, everyone. It was good to hear from you guys. Chopped liver, I'm so sorry. You have to rewind it, but we was talking about Kentucky and, well, the coronavirus. We got the COVID. So I never want Chopped Liver to think we're leaving because she just got here. I know she travels around and that's her right. So I don't want her to ever think that, or he, I don't want anybody to ever think I'm closing down because they got here. That's not the truth. But I do feel really shitty and I'm ready to get off of here. So much love to you guys. We'll schedule some more lives that won't be like 45 minutes from the time I schedule it and try to do some more. And thank you, Daisy. Again, it was good to see you guys. Much love. Much love. Oh, there was one thing I want to do before I leave, if I can. Hold on. Let's see here. There we go. There you go, Jezebel. Jezebel Witch. Got you. You look good in blue. Okay, I'll go look at it right now. Much love to you guys. Have a great night. Jezebel Witch, you look good in blue. Let's see. As we're going out. See if I can't find something.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Crystal stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? The land of the free.
Again, I'm going to schedule some more lives, and we'll do some more lives. But for now, we're going to get off of here. Christopher, it's good to see you. I know you've been checking on me, and I appreciate all your prayers, every one of them. Much love to y'all.